here with us for the check a new representative from the Netherlands. The company 10 that already exists there for a while now. It is Eddie Lonzink's label and it is getting checked here with its high-frequency freerider Velox. The very high aspect kite has a *6-point scale, without pulleys. The steering lines are directly connected to the tip. There are 3 different possibilities to adjust the bar pressure and the turning speed according to preference. Line deflectors are on all struts and front tube bendings, but not in the area of the mid-strut. Here, we have a big inlet and outlet valve as it is common from the standard format from several smaller manufacturers. The front tube is closed off with a standard stitching, doubled up from the inside and sewed up. The tip segments are reinforced with narrow Dacron areas. For the model Velox, the company 10 uses triple ripstop material for the flying canopy, and all in all, the trailing edge has a wave-like doubling on the one hand and a narrow canopy doubling. For the areas that need to be reinforced, there is rubberized textile. The struts are all attached to the canopy with a single stitching and again doubled up from the inside and sewed up. The front tube to the flying fabric is doubled up twice here with a strip of canopy. The overall concept of the 10 Velox is fascinating. We have held an interview with Eddie Lonzink in Cape Town. He is a former designer of the boards for Flysurfer. He has become self-employed a while ago. Here, we have a kite that focuses on purely on riding and jumping performance without compromises. When it comes to early oncoming flow and gliding power, the Velox can compete with the best high-performance freeride kites. It has a very fast flow and immediately delivers an absolutely even and continuous pull over a very wide area of wind. The upwind performance really is excellent and it pulls extremely far to the edge of the wind window. And one should pay attention to holding the kite on the pressure point really precisely because it shakes a little bit otherwise because of the high amount of stretching. But if you hold it precisely on the pressure point, then this effect can only be felt minimally and it also does not really get on your nerves. It is astonishing how little shear force the kite has. Even lightweight people have no problems with controlling it even in higher wind areas. Exactly on the pressure point we have small to medium hold forces. The steering forces are high all in all. That means in detail that the control forces become higher the more the steering is deflected. The basic pull of the 10 Velox is even and high at all times. Even the unfolding of power is very high, but it is consistently even. So, the explosivity rather resembles that of a high-performance soft kite, and if you compare it to a tube kite of a similar build, an ozone edge for example, even though the Velox is more stretched, the power is higher in this case than in the case of the ozone edge. The rotational speed is rather slow. And the whole thing always turns in big, broad, round radii. All in all, the flying speed lies in the medium range, which makes the overall flight feeling particularly in regards to the snatch of the Velox comfortable. Looking at the profile stability of both sizes that we tested, as I have said about the bar feeling, it is extremely important to hold the kite directly on the pressure point so that the kite is evenly streamed against and a wobble that can continue on the bar. If you overpull the kite or depower it too far, you can feel it on the bar. If you avoid it, then we have a really good profile stability. But it must be steered actively. Its D-power capability is, as I have already mentioned, really exceptional. We can really find maximal control and a very low shear force. And only with a slight deflection of the bar, the kite flaps. As I said, you can lightly feel it on the bar, but the pressure decreases in a way that the kite can always be controlled optimally. The bar system release at a weight of 8 kg under 120 kg. Here we also have a single front-line safety that lets the kite crash pressurelessly. But the water start is not necessarily its strength because of the high aspect ratio. But because the cap is constructed as a performance-oriented kite, flying with a lot of wind is recommended, which means that the water start is possible at all times. With jumping, the kite displays what it is made for. It offers nearly no side forces before the jump so that you can hold the edge optimally until the end, even with a lot of wind. You have a really excellent, persistent, very powerful lift. And this is followed by a hang time that can nearly be compared to a high-performance soft kite. So, everything here is made to achieve the maximum possible height with maximal hang time. What makes the cap jump extraordinarily easy from our point of view. And what makes it do so well, is the high level of control, and be it that I hold the bar directly on the pressure point, I have a really excellent feedback from the point where exactly it is in the wind window at that time. All that is really easy and intuitive, especially with the 10 km kite that we tested. We have a niche product with the 10 Velox, which still appeals to the biggest target audience among kite surfers, namely all those that are looking for optimal riding performance and simply want to jump with the kite. And everything that is necessary to do so has been optimally achieved here. This means that it has as little power as possible before the jump so that I won't get any problems with the controls here. It has a very good tactility during the jumps in the air so that I know where the kite is, and, of course, maximal performance with as little effort from the rider as possible. Because even if rider does not have the optimal technique, the performances during jumping are always excellent. Accordingly, our recommendations in terms of the riding ability necessary target medium skill up to professionals and specialists for old school and board-offs. Because especially the group that I have mentioned last will feel quite lucky here.